welcome back to the channel. Happy Hump Day Wednesday. Thank you all for tuning in today. This, as you can tell, is the subscriber pick for the month of January. I want to welcome everybody who is new and welcome back to those who continue to tune in from week to week. And by the way, by the time I'm recording this video, I did see a few comments on my previous video. Thank you, everybody. I'm so excited that so many of you are very excited about the products and have been placing your orders. I have been seeing them coming through. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the video before this one. And yeah, you'll see everything. I'll make sure it pops up at the end of this video. Second of all, if you are not subscribed, if you didn't hit the notification bell, stay tuned for Sunday. Sunday is the Sewing Buzz, the first Sunday of the month, and I will be sharing with you all of my pattern picks and selections and my plans for BHM Pattern Designer Sewing Challenge, Black History Month Pattern Designer Sewing Challenge also. And what I will do is also link to the video, the previous video, because I went over what that is, the sewing challenge, how you can participate, where you can find the list of black pattern designers. All of that is in that video and linked on my website. I'll have everything in the description box. So very excited with this one. So you all know, and it looks like Lady Dane is cut off a little bit here. So you all know, I've already said, if you saw my video I think a week from the day you're seeing this, I did a video about a collection for 2025. Initially, I didn't think I was going to do one, and then I decided, you know what, I am going to do one, and it's going to be a shirt dress collection series. And so, and mainly because I want to perfect the technique of making shirt dresses, not so much, you know, the body of it, depending on the style lines, but the collar stand, I have work to do in that area. And so I figure if I continue to do them, it should, you know, come better. And not to say every shirt dress, because I do have a couple shirt dresses, I think, that don't have a collar or collar stand. It's like this V-neck, which I absolutely love. I'll share that with you after I'm done with this review. I'm going to share with you a few patterns that I have selected to sew up shirt dress patterns, and a couple were suggestions from you all. So I need, it looks like 5 more patterns to choose from. And so at least, you know, to give me some options. The criteria pretty much is collar stand, yeah, but I do like other shirt dresses as well. If I do pick one that doesn't have a collar and collar stand, I might just do 2 in that month, just so I can stay on pace with what my personal goal is, and that is really to do much better with collar and collar stands. Now, having said all of that, this video, you will notice, I don't know if you can tell on Lady Dane, the sleeves. We're going to talk about that. Let me just go ahead and jump to this clip real quick. Okay, so I have not added the buttons yet, and I was waiting until the end. I wanted to kind of sit on it first, and I know I absolutely love this fabric, and I'll talk about where I got this in the review. But one, I'm not a person that normally wears long sleeves unless it's like a cardigan, obviously coat jacket, that type thing. So for one, I feel like this is just too much fabric. Yeah, I could have shortened this, but here's the thing that's making me doubt it, because I saw Crumpus Tea and Sewing, her video review, and I'll link to it down below on this pattern. And I didn't realize this actually until I saw her review, but it wouldn't have stopped me from making it anyway. But it is a super duper drop shoulder, and I wanted to French seam this whole thing, but I was nervous about the drop shoulder and would it look, I don't know, like there's a band or something around my arm. See that? See where it is? And I am much narrower. I'm more narrow up here at the top. And so for me, it almost feel like, I don't know, like I got football pads on or something, but that is a deep drop shoulder. And I just feel like it just, for me personally, it just looks too much. And so even though I kind of barely kind of clipped, I could have pinned a little better to get a better feel. Let me see if I can hold this different. And they are long sleeves like it is on the models, how I kind of go over their hands and stuff. That's another thing I really don't like. So I could have shortened that part, but at the end of the day, having said all of that, this drop shoulder with the extra sleeve just don't look good on me. For me personally, I don't like how that looks. And so, oh, that is a lot of fabric wasted. But I'm sure I'm saving it. Best believe I'm gonna figure out some kind of use for it, because this fabric is absolutely gorgeous. But I am taking this off, and I'm just gonna turn it under and hem it and let it go as that, because yeah, this is just too much. This is too much. I didn't think that part through in the cutting out phase, and really taking in consideration that whole drop shoulder. Like I said, I remember T mentioning it, and then I got nervous when I was thinking about sewing that to the drop sleeve, that it just looks too full around. Something about this area will look awkward for me, and it just does. I'd rather just I'm taking this part off. So that's what you will see, and then you'll get my final review. So yeah, you guys, that was too much fabric. And because I'm narrow up here, more narrow up here, and this is already a drop shoulder, which I absolutely love that look on me, but that extra fabric going down to my wrist, and the fact that I really don't wear things that go to my wrist like that, I was like, okay, yeah, this is not gonna work. So I just simply, because I had already serged that area, I actually cut the sleeves off, reserged, and then just turned it under so ever so slightly. And yeah, and so when I picked this fabric, and this fabric is from So Much Fabric. So Much Fabric, if you are following along for the BHM Pattern Designer Sewing Challenge, you already know she is a sponsor, online sponsor, which there will be discount codes coming out in February, but stay tuned for that. Again, stay tuned for Sunday's video. But she's also a vendor at the sewing retreat next month. And so this, and I just checked. It's called Yam Black Lyocell Abstract Print, and it's still available. Actually, it's marked down to, it looks like $18 a yard. I picked up did I pick up 3 yards? I think I picked up 3 yards of this fabric, if I remember correctly. And so, and obviously Roz is a black owned fabric company. So if you're looking for fabric companies, online companies, great quality fabric, head on over to So Much Fabric. Again, I will link this fabric down in the description box. So the movement, what would I call this lyocell? If you're familiar with like viscose twill, that viscose, it has the flow, you see the movement in it, right? But it has a nice body and a nice weight to it as well. So it's not as lightweight as just a regular viscose or a regular rayon. It has a little bit more body to it, and I absolutely love it. And so that is the fabric. And the instructions, the pattern, as I said, I had watched this was selected, T from Compass T and Sewing put out a video of the same pattern. I was like, oh, perfect, I can just watch her video for a review, and I did. And she talked about the drop shoulder, and I was like, oh, I didn't notice that, which I didn't notice it. I did not notice it. And you can see it somewhat on the line drawing, but the depth of the drop, I don't think in the line drawing, now try to remember to pop up a line drawing photo, isn't as deep as it actually is in reality. And then the sleeves, they're definitely long and meant to go over the hands like that. I can't do long stuff like that. It's just not comfortable. And then I did view A, if I didn't say that. and I lengthened mine by 5 inches. Now, granted, when I measured the actual pattern against me, it was maybe 3 inches shorter than 2 to 3 than what I normally would go for, but I wanted this a little longer, so I added on the additional 2 inches. So this model on the front cover, besides the fact she does have on heels, she's definitely tall. You can, because that view A on her is short. And so, but anyway, so for me, I wanted it longer because I knew how I wanted to wear it, how I wanted to style it. And so, and I'll pop up pictures and video. You can let me know what you think. But what I can say about the pattern, the size I cut out, I am 45 full bust, 40 for my waist, and 52 around, 55 around the fullest part, my belly area. So I knew if I did ever want to close it up, although I never had any intentions when I picked this, that it would be something that I would button up. I just always saw this as being open. And so that's how I'm always wear it. And I wore it, you'll see how I styled it today with some me-made culottes and my me-made tank, which is No Me 2026. I made tons of them. But anyway, then I modified that tank dress into a tank top, and I've since made dozens. But anyway, and so I knew that was the intention. And also for the warmer months, I do plan to make a, now y'all know I don't wear black. That's not my norm, but I like the contrast. If I can get just a couple more black pieces in the wardrobe that I like, I'm good. So the other black piece that I want is a full black tank dress. So then I can wear this over it, like the belt I have on. And again, you'll see in the pictures, that's how I would want to style it. But I went with a 22 all the way down. And so, yeah, I absolutely love it. Now, had this been where I had to set in sleeves, I probably would have went with a 18 or 20 at the shoulder, again, because I'm more narrow up here. And so, but it's not. So that's why I do like this pattern, because of the drop sleeve and because I'm more narrow shoulder. I like how it looks on me. And so it absolutely works. So far as the instructions, I didn't get tripped up on anything. This actually is a relative. I know some of y'all leave comments about Vogue, and Vogue patterns can be confusing. It not really. Not so much more than any of the other patterns, your Simplicity McCall's. This one didn't have any particular technique that I thought was so unusual, except for there is this lap piece that they do with the sleeve. And yeah, that, and so as long as you're following the instructions on that, I think you should be fine. One of the things that I noticed when I was sewing it up, that I was surprised. Now here's the thing that I was surprised. For that sleeve, when you fold it in and all that, because you do have the pleat detail on the sleeve, I actually have the sleeve cut off right here. So you do have that pleat, you see that pleat detail right here? You do have that pleat detail, which is really nice. And then you ease in the bottom into the cuff. But they have you, when you're folding over the sides, they have you interface inside the fold to stabilize where you add the buttons. Oddly enough, unless I missed it, very possible, you did not interface. You did not do that with the front button band. And I was thinking, when I was sewing, I was like, okay, how come we're not putting interfacing in here? To just make sure, because you're putting buttons in, you want to make sure it's stabilized. And I was thinking, because how many times they had you fold it over, maybe that's why. And I was like, well, really, the type of fabric that I'm using, maybe for maybe a heavier fabric or something like that, that might be okay. And it was fine for this, but I think just out of just normal process, always the interface, because it's a middle line that you can't interface, that you would end up turning this over on, just to give some more stability. So when you're putting in the buttonholes, you know, it's not, you know, shifty or actually wearing a hole in it. So what I did when I got ready to put my buttonholes in, I just used embroidery stabilizer. I've said that many a times. You've probably seen many other YouTubers do that as well. I just set some embroidery stabilizer when I got ready to set the buttonhole, and I just ripped it off just to make sure. I didn't want the buttonhole to get snagged or caught, and it actually did up here at the top. You cannot see it, cannot tell, because of all, I love all these the animal print vibe that's going on here, the black spots and everything. That's where it kind of the buttonhole, when it was going, just kind of kept going in the same spot. So I stopped it in time where it's really small, but it's right in one of those black spots. And I was like, I'm not unpicking it, because you can't see it. You cannot even see it. I will have to literally point it out to you, like, here, see, look close. And I'm not doing that. And so absolutely love it. I had these buttons. Let me try to take her off at Lady Dang here. I had these buttons in my stash, in my big Bernina button bin, but they're just regular black buttons, as you can tell. Excuse me. Let's take a look at this collar and collar stand. What do I think? It's okay. I'm coming down the road. I'm coming down the collar and collar stand road, y'all. Let me see if I can hold it up for you. So as you can tell from the outside, it looks fine. I did good with back here. However, and again, because this print is so busy, you can't tell, but on the inside, again, that curve, and I'm gonna do the tip that Roz recommended. I create a template to, when I need to go around the curve, because that's kind of where the issue is happening, where one side I curve okay like this. You can see that nice curve, but then on this side it's ever so slightly off. I don't even know if you all can tell, but I can, and it's not doing what it's supposed to do. And then my other issue is, if you can tell, yeah, you can tell, meeting, when you fold over and meeting it all the way down, it meets all the way in the back until I get to those corners. That is another issue I tend to struggle with, and I was trying to be so super duper careful, and I still don't know how I managed to mess that up. I was like, okay, yeah, take your time, take your time, take your time. And I did. And the thing is, for the, let me put this back. Oh, let me say this before I say the other thing. I did French seam. I started French seaming this. And the plan was to French seam the whole thing, because you all know, for those who follow, when I make stuff with this type of fabric, viscose, rayon, stuff like that, I like to French seam the project, just because I think it just gives a really nice look and finish. So the back is French seamed, and then they have you stitch down the seam in the middle of the back. So you have a line of stitching down the back from laying that down. So yeah, have to be careful. However, because you kind of do the same technique with the cuff, I did fine. I was able to turn it in, and everything met all nice on the sides. There was nothing sticking out. And so yeah, I have to just really, again, I'm gonna be going through this every month, trying to really perfect the technique, get better at it. What I do like and appreciate about this one is the collar stand is wide. So I've worked the ones where, if you worked on shirt dresses where the collar stand is really small or thin, I really messed those up. But this, because it was a little wider, I felt like it gave me more room to work with when I was going around the curve and when I was adding the collar. So yeah, you can let me know what you think, your thoughts. If you think, yeah, what I should have done, I'm asking and open to constructive criticism for sure. Now let me share with you these shirt dress ideas that I do have. And oddly enough, during the time that I'm recording this, Style Arc is having a sale on this other pattern that I don't have, and I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get it. But anyway, this is on my, let me just share with you my list. See here, my list. Here's my list. And yes, this notepad is available on the website. So yeah, that was a cheeky plug. One of the products that dropped. But anyway, I already shared with you Vogue V1933 is today's subscriber pick. Thank you all so much. I will be revealing, I will not have options for you for February Vogue, but I still have a Vogue pattern. It's a black pattern designer. Y'all, I had to search, I had to look, but I found one because I want to stay with the Vogue pattern and focus, so I didn't have to do 2 in March. So you still got a Vogue coming next month. I'll post about that on Sunday and let you know. But of course, this one is done. Love Notions Aria, Emmy 2026, Style Art Tatum, shirt dress, Megan Nielsen, Matilda. Thank you so much. I can't remember who mentioned it in my previous video. I looked at it. I love it. Yes, we're going to do it. Style Art Belle woven dress. Now this one didn't have the collar stand, but I love that look in the sleeves, and it's still a shirt dress. I'm still calling it a shirt dress. I think technically you need to have a collar and collar stand in order for it to be a shirt dress, but it's going in the collection. I absolutely love the look. And then yeah, so I still need several more suggestions. And again, what I'm looking for are things with different style lines, some different features to it. Yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. And I still have a couple patterns in my stash, commercial patterns as a matter of fact, that's popping in my head. A McCall's and a Simplicity one, or maybe it's a McCall's. Anyway, I still need to go through those. But the thing is, with that Style Art Belle woven dress, because I envisioned sleeves like that on the shirt dress, I was like, when I saw it, I was like, okay, I know I don't have the collar and collar stand, but I absolutely, that's the look. That was a look I was looking for in the pattern. So I really want whatever the shirt dresses that I do be something about them a little different, because obviously I've done a few now. If you saw my video last week, I shared all of the shirt dress patterns that I've done today. Well, not all of them, because there were some other ones that I did as well in previous years. But at any rate, let me know what you all think of this, how it turned out. The video, I should have popped the video and pictures and everything. But yeah, stay tuned for Sunday. We are jumping head on into BHM Pattern Designer Sewing Challenge. And yeah, all right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and thank you for selecting this pattern. I greatly appreciate it. It's kicking off my shirt dress obsession. All right, everybody, have a blessed one. Bye.